Hey you, and welcome back to Vanilla Railroad for Beginners in Factorio version 0.17. I am Satchmo, and this is episode 19, the one where we get some electric steel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you being here, taking the time to hang out, spend with me. Appreciate any support, likes, comments, subscriptions, all the stuff that I need to beg you guys to do. It's unfortunate, but it is the way it has to be. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You gotta do it. If I don't say it, even if I do say it, people don't do it. So if I don't say it, definitely not gonna do it. Let me see real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and get a 191 of those. That's a lot. I'll just take I'm going to need a lot. Like a lot. So I need a bunch of those. And I could use a lot more of those. That's yellow belts, red belts. Looking down here. Oh yeah, a lot more like medium poles. 239 total. Yeah, see here's the steel just trickling in. No good. So I got two kind of strips of, solar setup last episode. We're going to need more than that. We're going to need maybe double that. But, you kind of have to chase your tail in this game. And the way we do that is by, you got to make the solar because you have to power the stuff that you put down. And the stuff that you put down consumes electricity. And then you consume electricity, you have to put down more power to power the stuff. But you need more stuff to make the stuff to power the stuff. You get the idea. It's just the whole game in a nutshell. So let me kind of future-proof this. This may not actually be where I want this at the end of it all. But let me just plan it out anyway. I want 4 rows of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pretend all of that's iron. And then, yes, I'm going to pretend all of that's iron, and then I'll do some steel next to it. I'm going to build this, but I have to cough, so I'm going to cut the audio. Excuse me. I don't know. I always get a cough whenever I'm doing these videos. I'm in good health. I don't know why I'm always coughing during these freaking videos. So this is going to be steel. All of that is iron in the future. This is going to be steel. So I need to do a little bit of a redesign. From the ones to the left of me. Some of that I could copy over if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to bother with that. You can kind of already see, I think, what I'm going to be doing here. Instead of kind of that shotgun design that I have in the other, here, I could just do this. Not that. The other steel factory in the base, the steel smelting columns, where the steel is produced and then it goes, or the iron is produced and then that feeds directly into the steel, so it makes one long column. You could absolutely do that here too if you wanted to, but look how big this is. Look, this factory is huge. These columns are absolutely massive. So if you imagine this stacked, another one long, it would just be enormous. So I opt for a direct insertion method. So let me go ahead and grab some power so that I don't have to look at so neither of us have to look at the blinking lights anymore. I'm just going to fill in one row of that. And then here. I'll just do these first. There. Yeah, so I opt for a kind of a direct insertion method where the coal, the ore is going to come into this one, iron, and then that's going to go directly into here to make steel. So again, you could probably tell just from looking at it, but I certainly don't want to assume, especially for the beginners among us. That is the entire point of this whole thing, so I would be remiss if I didn't take note of that, if I weren't conscious of that. Make sure you guys are asking any questions that you have, on that note, regardless of how simple they may seem. There's a lot. I mean, I mentioned in the last episode things like not realizing that you could, build more than one power station. That was just something that just had never dawned on me until a long time into the game. A game like this where you have to solve puzzles. Then they're like puzzles that you create for yourself. It's your own design that is pushing the need for progress. I mean, obviously the goal is to launch a satellite. So ultimately it's, the need to build a satellite is the one that's ultimately pushing your I can't think of the freaking word. How far you go in the game. What you're trying to do in the game is obviously limited by that, or determined by that. But the how you go about that and the way that you do it creates more problems. Do you do direct insertion everywhere? Do you use belts? Do you use strictly trains? Do you create just enough of the product that you need, or do you create an excess? Do you have to use storage now? If you've created an excess, do you have to find somewhere to store that? How do you power your stuff? There's a thousand different things in this game. All of these are things that cause more problems that you then have to overcome as a player. So it's I was planting all that stuff down and I forgot where I was going with that, but the point was, don't nothing is too trivial. Nothing is too banal to be examined in a game like this. So definitely ask your questions if you have any. If I don't answer it or can't answer it, somebody in the comments will, I promise. So, and also the Factorio subreddit and everything, the communities online for this game are just awesome, so that's always good. I'm just going to do a little pre-planning where all of these rows are going to go. Did I do that one right? I did. There, and then down, and then down. And then one more. Down. Yeah, and I might change that in the future. But you'll see what's happening here. There we go. Just dig all these up. In the future, I'll have a lot of lines of ore coming down. Oh, you know what? Something I just noticed. I can optimize just a little bit. Yeah, this is relatively minor, but I can do that. And that's going to give me storage on both sides of the belt. It's going to make this belt twice as efficient. Just something I noticed. Plug these in real quick. There we go. Cool. Now this guy is this one. And just for now, I can plug him in there, and here he goes below for the next one. And then once I plug this in, I will have steel. Yeah, it's not going to take too long. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to run back over and do more more solar. I think that's how we're going to spend this episode. I want to do copper, and copper will be happening soon. But those two are working. They're going to go up. Cool. Nothing, I'm not getting any flashes. I appear to have all of my inserters set up. I built this from scratch too, so it's not like I'm seeing any ghosts. The only real concern I have now is getting this back to base. So I'm going to run it straight up. If I can get my car oriented, I can kind of go straight. And there we go. Don't get killed by the train. I'm always looking at the mini-map, make sure the train's not coming. Still get hit by them though. They're pretty fast. Alright, let me blow myself a little path. And there. I should still have some cliff I do. And you can't repair from inside the car, you have to hop out. Kinda sucks. Whatever. Let's just run this all the way up into the base. I can kind of shoot through these real quick. Cool. I'll leave that hanging there while I go from the output, which is right here. I'm going to merge this onto this line, of course. I'm not going to make a separate line for it. And it's a little tight here. I have to squeeze it in here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip up this power pole. And everything that just lost power, I'm going to delete. I mean, really, look at, like, the ore's not even, like, this stuff is barely even creeping in. So this guy's practically dead. There we go. Give myself a little extra room. And then I will merge them thusly. And I'm going to input priority on the right. So you see that gives me a little yellow arrow here on the right side of this. And what that's saying is keep allowing the things that are on the right. If you when you go to output something, take from the right first. So that's going to make sure, not that this is going to back up, but it's going to make sure that if things do get backed up, that it's still taking from the right side instead of the left, because the left side I have a ton of input. This right side, however, I have just this little patch here. So I really want to drain this patch. So this little, this is going to help me do that. That's another thing about this game. I overlooked my first, let me see if I can spin that around and make it a little closer. There we go. Overlooked for a long time is that those splitter features. So things like the input priority and the output priority, are actually super helpful. And they're really cool features. So don't neglect to use those if you need them, if you see fit. Okay. Another problem solved. Now, this is going to help me get more solar working, which is kind of, again, still kind of the pressing thing. Let's take a look at the power. No, it's hard to say because it's at night. I just started this. I'm going to try to see at the end of the night. I'm going to try to click back over and see where this charge is. That's going to give me an idea of how much more solar I need. In the meantime, let's go and grab the things that I need to build more solar. Namely, solar panels and accumulators. Accumulators are doing great. All they need is iron and batteries, which there's an abundance of. These guys, on the other hand, not so much. How many do I have in my inventory? 50, 50, 50, 50. Can I just grab 1 or 2 more stacks just so I don't have to come back? But I really don't think I'll need those. I don't need inserters or anything. Power poles, I've got almost 200. I can't imagine needing that many. And those are the only 3 ingredients in my solar farms. something I've done in the past, something I normally do, it comes from some of the YouTubers that I watch, is I build like little walkways and pathways and stuff so I can drive on. And this playthrough I haven't done that yet. I intend to in the future. There we go. I intend to, when I make the space look a lot prettier, especially after we get robots, and that task becomes a lot easier to do. You make yourself a little concrete pathway. The first thing that does is that it, if you're walking on concrete, you get a little bit of a speed bonus, which makes sense. You gotta think, if this little guy were running around on dirt and grass, excuse me, if you were running around on dirt and grass and, you know, just earth all the time, or whatever planet this is, he would move a little bit slower than if he was working on a nice flattened paved ground. So anyway, it gives you a speed bonus, that's the point. But there's obviously a visual benefit to it, in that it looks nice, and it can be used to delineate sections of your base. Of course, it can be used for spacing purposes as well. If you need to measure things out, it's nice to have roads and stuff that are equidistant. So there's a lot of benefits to laying down like concrete and paved roads and so on and so forth. So I just haven't done it yet. I do intend to. This guy, I didn't hook him up. Cool. Alright, let's get it going. Yeah, I just haven't done it yet. In fact, I'm not entirely sure what I want this base to really look like in the end. And this is going to change a lot over time. What it looks like now is not at all what it's going to look like in the future. It's starting to take shape, but it's taking shape kind of slowly. Oh, it's daytime. Ah, shucks. I missed it. Charges all the way back, all the way up. Well, whatever. I made it through the night, so I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, and I should say sometimes, in the past I've done where I've planned the entire base out. I mentioned this in my first episode. I've done it where I've planned the entire base out. In fact, I did it on paper one time. It wasn't super detailed, but it was like, I want these things here and these things here. This is going to feed into this and so on and so forth. I've done that in the past, and really enjoyed that base. I thought that was a lot of fun, and I was really proud of it when it all came together. I did not do that this time. I'm trying to kind of do things on the fly, and I'm trying to focus more on, oh my goodness, explaining things and talking and trying to be somewhat entertaining. So I haven't been kind of under the self-scrutiny to make things the most aesthetically pleasing. But as the game goes on, really in this game, the more aesthetically pleasing you are, the nicer things look, the better they work. You know what I mean? I mean, imagine if these solar panels were just like everywhere. Instead of like in this grid like I have them, what if I just had them like, here's some over here, and then here's a couple over here, and then put a few down here. Like just wherever you can stick them. And I've seen people do that kind of thing before. Maybe not with solar panels to that extent, but yeah, like if you got space for something, just stick it there. That's what she said. But couldn't help myself. But no, the nicer things look, the better they tend to work. So if you can plan things out and you can make things look nice, and if you can go into things with a goal, then that tends to be the better option. So the base will be taking shape over time. Hopefully it will become something very beautiful. This takes so much focus. I mean, playing a game and recording a video, if any of you have done it, you'll know it's difficult already. But making sure to not misclick anything and get everything where it goes. It's tough. Anyway. We'll be working on copper next. We are 20 minutes into this episode. Oh, that is all of the panels I have. And it's nighttime. We are producing power in the steam engines. But why? Oh, okay, because as nighttime goes down. There it is. This is making up for the difference. And then I wonder, once these kick on, if it'll take this over or not. I really don't want these running at all. There we go. As these kick on... Oh, no, it's just making up for the difference. See, like, this is capped off at as much as it can make, which is 28.8 megawatts. And then the remainder of what the base needs is slowly creeping up here. So, it doesn't look like this could do it by itself. It might be able to. I don't know. But for the time being, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's check my fluids real quick. Light oil is drained. Oh, I have this. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so we're doing good. I forgot that I had the advanced one set up already, because that's what I was going to mention doing. Okay, no, we're doing okay. So that is all the solar I can produce for the time being. Well, out of curiosity, let's just go look. Let's just go look and see how many panels I was able to make while I was building that. Not a whole lot, because these do take a long time to build. 50, 54. Yeah, I'll go finish off this. That should be enough to finish off that. How much more? 32? That's enough of that, because those are already placed. This will be enough to, it's like I try to hit them. It's like I seek them out. Oh, this is what brought up the conversation earlier about the walking path, is that once you have a walking path up, you also have a driving path, which means that you won't run into shit anymore. Unless you put stuff on the walking path. But I don't. Okay. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Solar's coming back on. And yeah, the accumulator charge just barely dipped down. So, I am making it through the night. But as we learned, some of that is being supplemented by our coal. Our fossil fuel burning power situation. So, there we go. More solar. I'll do one more right here in the future. But it's getting smaller and smaller, obviously, as I come around the bottom of this this lake. I should name these lakes. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I should name these. 1, 2. There's 5 of them. It's kind of nice. The five lakes area. Okay. I have a few minutes more in the episode, and I didn't do too much except for build that steel thing. So, let's go ahead and get started on copper. I'll just lay down. Oh my god. Lay down my license is what I need to lay down. I'll lay down the mining drills. Where are you? 129. I'm gonna make that more. 200, yeah, because you'll need a lot. Yeah, I'll go lay down the mining drills and the electric poles and the transport belts. 355. That's not good. Let's do more. I used a lot of those the other way. Sorry I have to keep driving back and forth. I'm going to work on it. There we go. How's my inventory looking? Not great. Not terrible. Alright, yeah, let's go out to our copper field. Let's go look at it. Let's tear this up while I'm thinking about it too. Yeah, there's a lot of copper out there, but it's going to require a train. So let's talk about that. What we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to send a train out there, like I did for the oil. And the train is just going to go back and forth, and it's going to supply my copper smelting area which I'll be building shortly too, with the copper ore. Now, the difference here between that and what I've already done with the oil is that the oil just runs back and forth. And there are no signals on that. This is very important. There are no signals on that path. Essentially, signals in this game is red lights for trains, right? So there are no signals on that path. The train can just go back and forth as it pleases because it's the only train on the network and it's not worried about hitting anything. So what I have is I have these little loops. I park my car, hop out. So I have these little loops right here where it comes and it goes back into the main area. And then of course it comes over here and does the same thing. That's not going to fly when you have multiple trains on the same loop. Because essentially the rails then become two-way streets. Like not two-way streets in the way that you'd think about them as like one going one way, one going the other. Like the same street goes both ways. So that's no good. Trains don't like that. So I'm going to need to. Well, you'll see what I'll do. Essentially, what I'll do is I'll build two parallel roads, two parallel lanes of train track, and one will be oncoming, and one will be going, and one will be oncoming. And if the train needs to, it can go from one to the other. Excuse me. So essentially, everything will be in big loops. But anyway, this way, multiple trains can run on the same track. There we go. Let's survey my land. How many is this? 18 million. Let's go ahead and put that up here. 18 million. I'm going to put it off to the side because we saw last time it gets in the way of the thing. If you don't. M. I said M. Let me lay down these guys. Find my furthest, my rightmost area. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. There we go. Yeah, and then I'm just going to build this whole thing. Anyway, the crux of the whole conversation here was that I could do the same thing I did with oil with the copper. I could just build it just like I did there and do one train that goes back and forth and just has copper on the line. But that's kind of nearsighted. You want to do better than that. You want to set yourself up for success. So the oil train that I have was a kind of temporary stopgap solution. And since this is a real world playthrough, we're going to devote a significant amount of time and energy into making our rail network as robust as we can. Yeah, see, I grabbed all that I could. I even stopped off at coal to grab more, and I still don't have enough. That's why I upped the limit on my those chests, because you need a lot. I can do a couple more things real quick. I can plan it like this. Are these at least? Yeah, they are. I mean, that's going to leave just a little bit. Do another one. Okay. I'm doing this for this reason. So I can prelay the belts down. So I'm kind of putting these ghost images down so I can see where the belts are going to go. There we go. Straight down. Where is this one? Right here. Yeah, the rail network needs to be as robust as it can be. So that way, just, for that reason. So it's nice and robust. And that if we need to add any more trains to it in the future, as we get bigger and bigger and bigger, we already have the infrastructure in place to do so. So, therefore, starting with train number 2, we're going to be doing things the right way. Or at least what I consider the right way. All these, this is a lot. Did I run? Oh, I'm sorry. I heard something, so I looked away, and then I was like running without clicking. Okay, there we go. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. And just go ahead and put down a balancer. 8 to 6, because I have a 6-sided, or a 6, what do you call that? My trains have 6 wagons. Right there should be fun. Let's go ahead and build this. And this will be the end of the episode. I'll build this and just kind of get it set up. And next episode we'll finish it, and you'll see. So this episode is going to end on a little bit of a cliffhanger. I know you people will wait with bated anticipation. Let's see. Everyone's going to be on tender hooks, waiting for the next episode where I complete the copper outpost. Yeah, copper needs to be done like pronto. The base is hurting for copper, and the game gets. I mean, we're kind of there already. The game gets to the point where you need so much copper. Up. My patented press R until it works thing method. Boom. And then let's check that. 8 to 6. And then I'll just put it on top. There we go. And if it's all blue, then it works. So, cool. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I thought I lined it up right, but I just want to make sure. And then there we go. I don't know. Why not just like snake it as close as I can, so you don't use up any extra space. Not that I'm going to be using it for anything else, but snake all these over here. I really like the way the belts look when they're all kind of like doing this number. I find that pretty pleasing. Oh yeah, that's no good. Duh, because there's no things there. I'm just gonna take a guess. There. 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 Cool. I mean, it's good enough. There we go. And then the last thing, I know we're running a little bit long here, but I want to at least get well, it doesn't really matter because I gotta run power out here anyway. No, I'm gonna let it go long so I can get powered here because I don't want these things blinking. I'll take the screenshot at the end of the video so you can see like the exact last thing that I did in the video. And and I don't want all that in my video. Get my screenshot. There we go. Get those set up. Excuse me. Oh, that's not going to match up, but it's okay. There. Oof. This is so hard to see with all the copper and stuff. And then the night vision makes it, it desaturates the lighting gets desaturated, so it makes it even harder. Is that covering? It is. There we go. Let's finish these up. best it can be. There we go, and then also you guys need some over there too. There and there. And then very briefly, let's see if we can power this. I'm going to run it around this coal patch because in the future there will be trains here too and stuff for coal. Did I, oh, son of a biscuit. I didn't line it up with the way I came in. I'm gonna fix all this, don't you worry. Alright, and shoot the gap. Don't shoot the gap. Boom. Alright, let's go back and look at it. Another thing I need to think about too is putting, not satellites. I called them satellites a few episodes ago. I realized when I was editing it, I kept referring to them as satellites, and they're radar dishes. Radar is not the same as a satellite. Like, not in any way the same as a satellite. So, sorry I kept calling it satellite. But it was, when indeed it was a radar dish. There we go. Cool. Put down one of these satellites, and neato. Now I have a little bit of coverage over here. You can see I'm already producing a significant amount of pollution, but hopefully I've pushed the biters back far enough to where this doesn't spread too far over there. We're still kind of in the green area as well, so it might slide along this dirt, but not a big deal. I'll build up some defenses if I need to. So anyway, without further ado, this has been Satchmo. You've been watching Vanilla Railroad for Beginners, episode 19. Yes. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me how I'm doing. And I'll see you next time.